Welcome to another episode of the Two for One podcast. I'm your host, Dion, and joining me, as always, live from the state where they're running out of salt to melt all the snow and ice down. It's the man, the myth, the Nate, Mr. Taylor. Nate, how you doing today, sir?
We're running out of salt.
That's what the headlines are telling me.
That's news to me. I have so many bags of salt in my basement.
Well,
I'm
the
always
New Jersey
prepared.
state government needs your help. They need your
Phil
assistance to
Murphy
melt all
needs
the
a lot
snow.
of help.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Oh, no,
But
it's
also
not Phil
joining
Murphy
us.
anymore. Sorry.
Oh,
Anyways,
anyway, joining us live from the city that was mentioned 798 times in the Epstein files. It's
Well,
Mr.
there you
Josiah Cook.
go.
Josie, how are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great. It smells right now, man. It smells like trades, baby.
It does
I'm
smell
so
like
I thought you
in.
were
trades.
gonna
It does
say
smell
like
like
you
trade. Yes,
you
we
need
had
to
to
change
come
your pants
with an
before we started
emergency
the
midweek
episode.
pod. We got the emergency midweek pod going because it has been quite an active last 24 to 48 hours. Lots of Shams bombs, and so we're going to get into it all. Obviously, trade deadline is tomorrow, or I guess today by the time this episode comes out. So if anything extra crazy goes on deadline day, then we'll definitely talk about that as well. But we're just here to catch everybody up on what has transpired in the last 2 days here. So obviously, starting with the biggest news, of course, Jalen Duren accepting his invite to the dunk contest. No, I'm just kidding. We're just going to talk about trades here today. So the first one that came across the timeline, this is one that I'm still kind of on the fence about. I'm going to need you guys to kind of help me figure out where I want to land on this one. But it is Jaren Jackson Jr. headed to Utah alongside John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. Returning back to Memphis is Walter Clayton Jr., the first round pick from last year, Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and three future first round picks. So, value wise, I feel like this all kind of makes sense. But I can't quite figure out if I think it makes sense for the Jazz to go get Triple J. Like I just don't know that they're in the right spot to be doing that. But where'd you guys kind of land? Because I can't quite decide what I think of this one.
I think it's always gonna be weird when you see a team that has 15 wins on the season in February trading three first round picks. At the same time, they're not three great first round picks, and it's not
Hmm.
like the Jazz are lacking in draft picks. I think they still have the second most out of anybody other than OKC. So Danny Ainge typically has known what he's doing when trading and acquiring draft capital in the past. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt on that side of things. I don't love Jaren Jackson, but they aren't, they're not strapped. For cash in Utah. They have some money to spend and play around with. They didn't give up anybody of any major value. I think Taylor Hendricks is another one of those guys who's kind of just lost in the rotation there and hasn't really had a chance to develop. Maybe he can go play in Memphis's 16-man rotation.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's an intriguing fit to have Jaron with Laurie on the wing. What do you think, Josie? You like that fit of those two?
The fit wise, I don't know. I doesn't seem like either of them are fit to be a three or a
Yeah.
five. So it's kind
They're
of
they're
like,
both two of the weirdest guys to define their position in the league because hypothetically, or in a perfect world, Jaren Jackson's a shot blocking spacing five, but he can't rebound the ball.
Mm.
The stat I was going to tell you the other day was in 2 games, Yuki Kawamura has 4.5 rebounds a game, and Jaren Jackson on the season averages like 5.3 or whatever it is. Um,
shameful.
that's so like actually like insane. I used to get so mad as a little kid watching Porzingis average like 6 rebounds a game. So if I was like a Grizzlies fan, I don't
Yeah.
even know how I'd feel watching the 5 rebounds a game from him. So I like them just moving off from $50 million that they guarantee to him and letting Cedric Howard and Edie grow. For the Jazz, it just feels like something that's not. It's a move to make a move in a sense where like yeah, it makes them better in the short term and they have a bit of a timetable matchup here with Jaren Jackson. He's not old or anything, but I don't think that a big three of Jaren Jackson, Keontae George, and Laurie Markkinen going forward is exactly something they should uh, be set on in a really tough Western Conference.
Yeah, it does feel like it creates kind of like a limited ceiling. I would say I'm more iffy on the fit between Markkanen and Jaren, but I do really love pairing Jaren with someone like Walker Kessler because Jaren was so
Yes.
much
Hmm.
better this season when he did get to play alongside Edie. Like you're saying, like ideally he'd be a five, but it's just clear like he's just not capable of filling that role full time. So playing him next to Kessler, I think is gonna be fantastic. Like sliding Laurie back to the three. I just don't love it. I think he's been so much better playing at that four spot. So they can make it work, but like you said, like this is their core now because Jaren Jackson is going to get paid like $52 million next season.
And
So you're kind
as
of stuck now with this group.
as good as the interior defense might be, I really think they're going to struggle guarding guys from three and keeping up on the perimeter because that's a really big lineup. Laurie can play the three, and he's not a bad defender, but I think his defensive value is way up when you have him as this long rangy four who can. He's not a weak side shot blocker, but he can keep up with guys and
Yeah.
not be a complete black hole. Whereas I think you put him at the three, and it makes him a lot more vulnerable on defense.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Jazz are going to be a team to watch next year in the offseason for moves because they traded their own pick in this trade. I feel like that, there's a lot of pressure on them to win next year now. And they're going to have to find a way to get there and simultaneously not win enough this year to keep their own pick. So
Hmm.
The thing
it's
is, like, the Jazz have proven to me already this year that in glimpses they look like they can be a competitive team. So I think adding Jaren right now, if I had to say, I'd probably think this is a play-in team next year in the West. Like I think they can be a play-in or a 7, 8 seed. Right now, the bottom of the West isn't great, so I think there's a lot of room for them to potentially go up there. Even though I think teams like the Blazers will get better. Like
yeah.
Josie said, they're gonna have to do something in the offseason to like complete this roster and make sure that they're actually in a position to go and try to win a lot of games next year.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to set themselves for success, but I'm glad Will Hardy finally gets to actually like coach an NBA team for 82
Yeah, he's a
games.
good
So,
coach.
so that'll be exciting to see him at, full capacity there. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. If they end up making some more moves, they get like a nice wing defender or something like that, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of see the vision here. But as of now, I'm kind of just like, I just don't really know where this leaves them.
They need
Couldn't like
like
it.
a KCP in his prime type guy to
Hmm.
start at that two position because
Yeah.
Keontae George isn't exactly a great defender in his own right.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then for Memphis, I mean, pretty good value. I mean, three first round picks to add on to the four that you got with Bain. Like you said,
Bane.
Nate, they now have the most first round picks in the NBA, or I think tied for most. So they're in a good spot rebuild wise. I'm curious to see what this means for Ja. Obviously, it's been pretty quiet on that front recently, so we'll see what happens there. But
I saw the one thing that he has zero interest in Sacramento, which is very surprising.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think a good move for the Grizzlies. We'll see what both teams do next. I think there's definitely more to come for both of them. But
Did
next
something
up, we
happen in
got
between
what?
the two guard swaps? Did something else happen in between that?
No, next up we have the three-teamer between Chicago,
Oh
Minnesota, and
yeah, yeah.
Detroit. Now, it's still a little bit fuzzy to me what Minnesota got in the deal, in the bargain,
Cash.
but just cash, I guess. So
Cash in an
essentially,
open roster spot.
the Bulls landed Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley. They sent out Kevin Herter and Dario Saric over to the Pistons. And Detroit's also getting a protected pick swap from Minnesota for this year. But yeah, I guess Minnesota is just getting the cap space, I suppose. So I want to start with Minnesota here. I don't understand how you give up a point guard in a trade that involves another guard, and yet they don't land a guard. They didn't make any other moves. They still have another however many hours left until the
They're really
deadline.
banking on Giannis, who the Bucks seem like they're not trading right now.
Yeah, like you're Minnesota, and like what makes you think you have a good shot to land Giannis? Like I just don't get what the vision is here. Now, apparently, because Mike Conley ended up getting rerouted to Charlotte, which we'll talk about in a second, he's probably going to get waived, and supposedly he might just end up back in Minnesota. But even still, like I just don't
No, they
really.
can't re-sign him. That's not
No,
allowed. There's
they
a
can because he went to Chicago and then Chicago traded him away. So it's not like an immediate like back to the Timberwolves situation.
uh,
So yeah, I thought that too, but I don't know. NBA Twitter told me that, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure yeah he could end up back in Minnesota for the free. Which okay, cool, but like I don't know. I was really confused for the Timberwolves. And then on Detroit's side of it, I felt like it was selling a little bit low on Jaden Ivey. Like I would have liked to see them get someone better than like Kevin Herter. Obviously, Dario Saric is filler, whatever. Kevin Herter is maybe like the type of player that is like a good fit. I think they kind of needed like a Karis LeVert upgrade. He's been
with
not so great this
how
season, but
with how
ah,
Ivy's looked though since injury, like yeah, I don't know that they were getting more for him, and
that's
I
fair.
understand them really wanting to get another piece. And you look at what their roster is right now, giving up Ivy isn't really giving up an essential piece of your
Yeah.
rotation. So if you're going to trade a guy, I would have loved them to go get Herter for Karis LeVert, but that wasn't going to happen. So I think getting Herter to just replace a lot of hopefully Herter or a lot of LeVert's minutes is a really good thing because him and Duncan Robinson is like a shooting pair is really good and they both have some length to them. So
Hmm.
I did like the pickup for Detroit, whether or not you love the value for Ivy right now.
Yeah, and Kevin Herter just wasn't a fit in Chicago. I mean, he's taller than 6'4", so he just wasn't really a good fit for the Bulls.
Yeah,
They only want guards. They have
they don't
10
have a
guards
single
on the roster
player
right now.
left over 6'9".
Yeah, I mean, they got a couple guys right around 60, but yeah, that I don't know.
Jalen Smith is their tallest player at 6'9". That's their tallest
Oh, I
guy.
thought him and Buzelis were listed at 6'10". But either way it goes, I mean, yeah, this roster on the Bulls is just a mess. But good value, I think, to take a swing on Jaden Ivey. They obviously shipped out Kobe White, which we'll talk about in a second. So decent move for the Bulls. And then, yeah, for Detroit, I mean, getting the pick as well, I guess you kind of get another bite at the apple. Like, not necessarily the lottery, but you get a first round pick. So decent deal there. I just don't know what the hell Minnesota's cooking. Josie, what is Minnesota cooking?
Yeah, like you said, they're going after Giannis, and it doesn't seem particularly wise at this point. And uh, it just felt like the Kobe White trade that we were talking about leading up to this, and he just wasn't in it. So it's just so weird.
Well, and
Yeah.
it was reported that they literally had the opportunity to get Kobe White rerouted to Minnesota in that deal, and they were like,
Yeah,
We're
no.
I'm
good
good.
on
Like,
Kobe
yeah, I
White.
guess we'll pass. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they end up getting Giannis, then like more power to him. But I don't really see it. So
If they do get Giannis, all works out cool. No one cares. If
Hmm.
they do this, end up with no point guard at all and minus Mike Conley, nice job, Tim Conley.
yeah, that one was a little confusing. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with Giannis. Next trade, we had just a straight one for one swap, a second round pick attached on both sides. It is my Boston Celtics going to land Big Vucci Main and swapping out Anthony Simons. Now, if you had told me that the Celtics were going to make this trade when the season started, I'd be like, okay, cool, yeah, gets us out of the tax. I'm pretty sure. I gotta double check on that, but definitely lowers the tax bill. Gets them a center that they can pair with Kata. But Simons have been growing on me, man. I think I said this on the last pod. Like Simons has really grown on me. I felt like he's had a lot of really big games, had some big moments in games, has been like very crucial for a couple of these wins. So like Vooch, But at the end of the day, if this was just a move just to get under the luxury tax and give you more flexibility moving forward because they're trying to get out of like the repeater tax, set them up down the line for like the next iteration of the team, I'm kind of just like meh. I don't know. Would you guys? Where'd you land on this one?
I like it as a Knicks fan. I dislike it as a Nikola Vucevic fantasy owner because
Hmm.
damn, his value is probably gonna not be as good. I don't know if he's gonna start, if he's gonna come off the bench. I still imagine he starts at this point, even with Keita maybe being the better fit. I know you don't like that. I just can't imagine Vooch coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Maybe he does. Maybe he comes off the bench and plays 25, 30 minutes a game still, in that way. I think offensively he could be really good for what Boston wants to do with, spacing the floor, having a big man who can facilitate and, get his teammates open looks. Derek White will probably get a lot of open threes, I think, from Vucevic post ups. You don't have to give him a ton of touches, but I think he does add an extra layer to Boston's offense. And like we just talked about with the defense, if he's not playing well, he doesn't have to play all that much that night.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, because Vooch has played 1,020 career games. He started 956 of them. So like his rookie season for 20 games in 2016 and then one game last season he came off the bench. So yeah, it would be kind of weird to like relegate him to a bench role, but I just think he makes more sense coming off the bench. Like Neemias Queta is more of like regardless of who's better, who's worse, I feel like Neemias Queta is more of like a starting center. Like he
He
fits
could
that
probably
mold
be
more.
like a six man of the year type of
Yeah, yeah,
center.
absolutely. Yeah, he'd be like an overqualified six man. I just feel like he's like obviously more of an offense first type of big. I feel like that just fits better off the bench, whereas like Cade is just like a plug and play type of
Because I
guy.
just don't love him and Jalen Brown together, or the idea of that. Maybe it'll work out, but I don't love the idea of those two together.
Wait, why not? What's wrong with Vooch and Jalen Brown?
I don't know. I just feel like Vooch just likes the ball a lot, and I feel like Jalen Brown likes the ball a lot. Like Jalen Brown has been a
Yeah.
very ball dominant player for the most part this year.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Vooch is comfortable just like stretching the floor, being
No,
that type of
I
player.
get, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not saying. I just think Vooch is to get the most out of Vooch though. He's been a very good passer this season also,
Yeah.
and he's always been a pretty good passer. I don't know. I
I
like
mean,
it. I don't hate the
they'll run
move.
some like some hub stuff for him. Like he'll run some high post like
Yeah,
handoffs and stuff for sure.
I'm glad that, or I'm not glad, but I think Simons in the playoffs would be a lot less valuable than a guy like Vooch is, even though
Hmm.
Vooch doesn't have all that
Yeah,
much playoff
that's
experience.
probably the point to make there. Yeah. It could actually be beneficial for him for the playoffs. I
But at the
mean,
same time, if you have to play in big minutes in a playoff series, he could end up being food for, a guy
yeah.
like Jalen Duren or something.
Right, which is why
Well,
I actually kind of like the contrast between him and Kata, but like,
Kata, yeah, you have two of very
yeah.
different play styles that you can kind of go with. You go the offense heavier, give us some
Hmm.
defense.
Problem is like with his what is he, 34? He's
I
35.
don't know. He'll
So,
still rebound too. Like he's a good
yeah.
rebounder.
But I'm just thinking he's 35 with 36 at the start of next season. So like I don't really want him to be the guy that they roll with for next year, but I do think like that
He's
type of
expiring.
player would make sense. He's an expiring. I'm talking about like whether or not they bring him back. Like I
Okay.
would like someone Vooch-esque in that spot, but then you kind of need also now a Simon's replacement. Like they kind of need another guard now for next season. So for the Bulls,
Dude,
like
who
honestly, with the amount of guards the Bulls have, like is Simons really one of their high priorities now? Like they're
I was
ready
gonna
to.
say, dude, they have who do they have at this point? They have Simons. They now have Colin Sexton. They have Trey Jones.
Io,
They have,
Yeah,
huh?
Io, yep.
Io.
Yeah, they still. Oh yeah, they didn't even trade Io yet. They still have him.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do next, but I can't imagine Simons is like now like a building block. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
And none of those
Um,
guys can really play the two other than Io.
yeah, I mean Simons can. I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah, but he can play the two if you have a big one.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know. Next deal we had. I'm just scrolling through all the Shams tweets. So Kawhi was officially listed to the All-Star team, which is good to see. And then Cat will be playing for the World Team. Okay, sure,
Wasn't
whatever
wasn't
works.
was it next James Harden?
The next one is yeah, we had the one for one James Harden for
I don't
Darius
even want to
Garland
spend
and a
too
second
much
round
time on
pick.
that one, to be honest with you.
I think we have to, man. This is a crazy.
Dude,
It's
it's
such a
it's the
big
same.
trade.
It's just like we know how this ends for Cleveland, do we
Yeah,
not?
yeah, we do. We know exactly how it ends.
Yeah, but we
James
got to
Harden,
talk
one
about
for
it.
nine in Game Seven, 6 points. Maybe gets to the free throw line a
Game
couple
seven might
times.
be generous, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll see who the game matchup, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I was really confused by this one, especially because given that the Cavs are the ones that gave up the second round pick here, what that tells me is they were the ones making the phone call. Like, obviously, we saw
Yep.
the reporting, like, oh, James Harden's trying to work his way out of Los Angeles, whatever. But if the Cavs are the ones that gave up the pick, they were the more desperate one in the scenario. They were the one trying to make this deal happen,
Yeah.
which is just bewildering to me. I just like, yeah, Harden's better than Garland right now, but like you're in the same spot. Like you're not any better off. Like obviously the Garland Mitchell fit, we've talked about that for months, if not years.
This reeks of Brooklyn Nets.
Ooh,
This reeks of a team who is desperate to keep their star in Donovan Mitchell, aka the Nets wanted to keep Kyrie and KD happy. Donovan Mitchell, oh, they're scared that next year's going to be his last year. Then he's going to opt out of his player option because he's still going to get 50 plus million. Like it's not like he's not
yeah,
going to get the same money he would from his player option. Now there's the rumorings of them trying to recruit him and Harden trying to recruit
yeah,
LeBron. It
yeah.
just feels like they're rushing the process of this when they could easily just be like, all right, we're going to chill, set things back. This group isn't going to win a championship. Like even if they get LeBron, this team isn't winning a championship. The defense is going to be bad, even with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Like, I don't expect this group. I think the defense gets worse with having Harden play 35 minutes a game. I don't think that's a hot take at this point, is it?
I mean, I'm pretty indifferent about it.
I
It's
don't
not like
know.
Garland was like a positive impact
Well, Garland
defensively.
wasn't playing all that much.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I wouldn't be worried about the defense. I'd be more worried about a big playoff game and just knowing that Harden's gonna
Okay,
actually like
I
shit his
Yeah.
oh
pants. Like that's what I'd be worried about.
that I just also think the fit with Donovan Mitchell isn't that good.
Yeah, and like to think that like okay, if this was a move to kind of like appease Donovan Mitchell, unless he asked for this, like what would make you think that like this makes him want to stay? Darius Garland at least was young and like maybe the toe could get better. Like Harden's on the decline. Like why would we think that this is
There
going to keep
was a
him around?
report that
There's a
he
report that they
asked for
wanted to
that.
play with. Yeah, I
Okay, all
think
right.
they
Then
wanted
then I
to.
guess fine, whatever. But yeah, like he's going to feel that way until we get to game 6 of round 2 and like what, Harden's going to have no
I
I
act
also think
rebounds.
it's odd because they have a real lack of floor spacing, and then you're going to be asking Harden to run pick and rolls with the paint clogged, and then like Donovan Mitchell's not some off-ball floater that you're just going to have hanging out by the three-point line. You know what I
I
mean?
think he's pretty good in that role.
No,
I mean, how
he
many
is, but
times he
like
wants to
that's
do that a game, but
that's what I'm saying. I feel like you're not like at this point. I'd rather the ball be in Donovan Mitchell's hand, and I feel like the ball is going to be in James Harden's hands so much.
yeah, that's fair because James Harden is a wet sponge with the
It
ball in
doesn't
his
That's a
matter.
hands.
big problem.
Look at Kawhi this season. Look how great of a season Kawhi has. It's still always in James Harden's hand. And I'm not saying that good things don't happen when it's in James Harden's hands, but when you have an offense that's used to the ball always being in James Harden's hands, and then you come into the postseason, bad things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea that like, oh well, if James Harden's bad in the playoffs, we'll just lean on Donovan Mitchell. How many times has a team leaned on Donovan Mitchell and then like they fell short because
And
of
then they're like, oh
LeBron
wow,
James?
Donovan Mitchell has 50 points and we're struggling to win this game.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't really think this changes anything for the Cavs. It's just kind of going to be more embarrassing when they get bounced in the second round, in my opinion.
Because
Yeah, I
now,
was
like,
confused
even if
by
this
this
group
one.
fails, now they don't have Garland and Mobley to fall back on.
Exactly. Yeah. Like at least Garland was young and you could build forward with that. But for the Clippers, man, what a fucking steal. Like
I
this is kind
mean,
of weird. It's kind of a weird one. Like I don't think they wanted to make this trade, but knowing that like James Harden was trying to force his way out to go and get a what 26-year-old former All-Star, like if the toe ever figures itself out, like this is a fantastic deal for them.
that's how you recoup from having absolutely no draft picks, a
Yeah.
little
Right.
bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
It could
they
end up
managed to get
being
value. If it honestly feels like they have to go all in on these next couple of years, like they're committed to Donovan Mitchell, they're married to him at this point, and yeah, they're in bed with the guy, and it feels like that there's other moves that are about to be made. Maybe Evan Mobley does get traded.
oh,
Um, it feels like that Donovan Mitchell is all they care about, and that's shown by trading a guy who's 10 years younger than a guy you get. So it doesn't really make sense to me. If you're going to trade Garland, why would it be for another guard who is kind of like doing the same kind of Garland things. Like,
Right.
when you want to get a different position in this, try to shake it up a bit more. But you know, James Harden is better than Garland. That keeps getting said. It's true, but I don't have much faith in him. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
why would you? There's no reason to suggest that you should.
and
Yeah,
again, like the Centel post that said that Harden already has requested a trade from the Cavs, like it actually might be true in a year or
yeah, like
so.
we know how this ends. Like every single time with her,
This is
save for
genuinely
OKC.
like you date that one girl who cheats on you, and then you just go back and like, oh, I promise I won't do it again. Then she cheats on you again, and then you keep telling your friend like maybe you shouldn't go back to this person. She's like, oh no, this time she's different. It'll be different this time. It's never different this time.
It's never been different. It always ends poorly
Yeah.
with James Harden. So like we know where this is coming. Like this is gonna come crashing down. So like you said, Josie, I don't get why they went and got someone who's gonna fill the same exact role as Darius Garland. It doesn't like you saw it didn't work many years in a row. So I don't
Not to
know.
call him a psychopath, but it's like a basketball psychopath or like a sociopath where you just believe this guy who says one thing time and time again. I'm in LA here because this is my home and this is where I want to be, yada, yada, yada. Hello, I'd like a trade.
Yeah, I don't know. But
And he has a player option next year. He could be
hey,
gone.
right.
So it's
Harden?
it's yeah.
Yeah, and then Donovan Mitchell could follow suit the year after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're
He
setting
could
themselves
lose
up
Garland for nothing.
for failure here. But I will say this, Josie, how are the strip clubs in Cleveland? Because that could be a big factor.
Man, it might be a big factor because it's the worst that he's played in since
Mm.
Oklahoma City. So I
Mm.
think that yeah, he could be pretty bored here, I think, because he's used to the New Yorks, Houston, LA. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where this brother has been.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a little different here, man. It's a little different.
James Harden declines his player option, signs with the Atlanta Hawks in the offseason.
Oh,
I think that's where we're headed. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great deal for the Clippers given the situation. So,
Yeah, I love this for LA. I
yeah.
really do.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. We had another blockbuster though. 10-time NBA All-Star Anthony Davis headed to the Washington Wizards alongside Jaden Hardy, Dante Exum, and D'Angelo Russell. He can't escape. Can't escape D'Angelo Russell. They're headed to the nation's capital in exchange for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson,
Look at
Malachi
D'Angelo
Branham,
Russell.
Marvin Bagley III, two first-round picks, and three second-rounders. Now, today was a crazy day, as was yesterday across the NBA landscape. But this one, this one caught me a little bit off guard. Anthony Davis to the Wizards. I mean, I guess they're building now with obviously Trey Young, Anthony Davis. They kept all of their relevant young guys. Shout out to AJ Johnson, but like whatever. So they still have their young core. I don't hate it. Like the more I think about it, the two first round picks that they did give up, it's a 2026 Thunder first rounder, so like the 29th pick at worst, and a 2030 protected Warriors pick, which I think is like top 20 protected. So they really didn't give up too much here. I don't hate it. Like it doesn't really
no.
make sense on paper. Why is the worst team in the NBA trading for a 32, 34-year-old
I've come
injury
around
prone
to
guy?
it.
But what'd you say?
I've come around to it.
Yeah, like I don't hate it because
I don't hate it, but there's nothing to like either. It's just like the most pointless fucking trade of all time to me.
well, I think best case scenario, like if we're looking at it half glass full, Anthony Davis is a fantastic mentor for Alex Sarr to have. Like I think that's great for his development over the next 2 years. And then you pairing him with Trey Young, like at the worst, like you're putting butts in seats. Like the Wizards are, I'm pretty sure, like not even close. They're 30th
Again,
in
like
attendance.
I will so strongly, I get it, a business. I just think the way bad teams stay bads are by making trades to put butts in seats. Because then there's like, oh, well, like they need to put butts in seats. They need money. They need this and that. Blah blah blah. I think every team has a chance at making it back to being, or at making it to being a contender or a team that can win an NBA Finals by taking the right steps. I think that doing stuff that just takes you one step forward, but really doesn't take you. You can't just go up a few steps and be like, "Oh, I'm good. I don't need to go up the full case of stairs. I can just sit right here forever." Like to me, that's pointless. Again, maybe they'll be an okay regular season team if Anthony Davis plays more than 40 games and Trey
Mm.
Young somehow starts making his teammates better. But I don't love the fit in general. I think the rest of the team around them is pretty bad. The bench sucks. I still think Bub Carrington is one of the worst players in the league, and I will stick by that opinion. Bilal Coulibaly's fine. I guess he's been a little bit better. Alex Sarr's nice, but I don't like this for Alex Sarr's development. I think Anthony Davis does a lot of the things that Alex Sarr does well. That's going to kind of overshadow Sarr and not allow him to take on as big of a role as you want him to. I know you guys said you're not as high on him as being maybe a 1B. I think he can be that type of guy. I don't know. I just don't love this trade.
But like, if he is going to be that 1B type of player, like you were saying, like, Do you think it's going to happen in the next 2 years? Because I feel like if anything, like
He
Anthony
took a
Davis will
really
kind of just
big
help
leap
him
from
get to
last year
there.
to this year, man.
That yeah, that's fair, but
Like
I
really
just
big,
don't
and I don't
really.
think anyone's talked about it.
I don't know. I don't really think AD gets in the way. They could play together. Like
Yeah,
Sar's pretty
Sar is
comfortable
But
playing
not
at the
dead.
four.
but then that's going to be forcing Sar to take more bad threes, which is what he was doing last year, which is what I don't want to happening. And I just
That's
it
fair.
frustrates me because I
I
like
could.
Sar a lot, and I really do hate this for him. Trey Young I thought was cool because he's going to feed him a lot of buckets, and now I think a lot of those buckets from Trey Young are just going to go to Anthony Davis instead when he's on the court. I think the best thing that possible is if Anthony Davis just doesn't even play a lot.
To go back to your stairs analogy, yeah, like you don't want to just go up 2 or 3 steps and just call it a day. But when you're in the basement for as long as the Wizards have been, and like they tried to tank, they ended up with like the fifth pick a bunch of times. Like at some point, you got to make a move to like progress forward. Like I look at like teams of the past that,
Fairs.
like when you're a team that's been this bad for so long, there is value in like acquiring high level veterans that like at least establish some sense of like a
I
higher
understand that, I
floor,
guess. I just
to
don't
build
like the.
forward.
My issue is getting a guy that I. You're getting a guy who is like the best case scenario of the guy that you already have. So I just don't love that. But I also understand, I guess, the mentorship. But I also don't look at AD as some mentor type of
Yeah,
guy.
fair enough. Yeah, but like I just think the value proposition, like they didn't give up much to get him. So like best case, this
Yeah,
works
that
out.
Mm.
that I understand. So like if
Yeah.
magically AD's back is healthy, his ankles are healthy, his knees become healthy, every single bone in his body doesn't become glass anymore, then yeah, it could be cool.
All right, next up, we had a deal that I'm very confused by. I guess it kind of made sense because immediately following, Shams tweeted that SGA will be out through the rest of the All-Star break. But the Sixers shipped out Jared McCain to OKC in exchange for the Rockets' first round pick this year and 3 second rounders. I understand Jared McCain has not exactly been playing at the level that he was at for his like first 22 NBA games, but this felt like just selling incredibly low because you're not getting like they only got back draft capital. So this is obviously a move for the future. So like why not wait? Why not see what might come in the offseason? Like are they that worried about his injury history that they felt like his trade value would never be higher? Like I just felt like this is very low value for a guy that showed a lot of upside. I'm not the biggest Jared McCain fan in the world, but like it just felt like a sell low move at the end of the day.
Yeah,
They
it
said
felt like a stupid move by a stupid front office.
Hmm.
they want to commit to Quentin Grimes. They're like
Yeah, like
bringing
this
him
is
back next
they
year.
can pay Quentin Grimes now. Oh boy, the guy who we completely ruined his confidence again.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, Quentin Grimes is cool, but like, I'm not just trading off my like nice first round
Second
pick I made
year
last year for
guy
that.
who
Like,
averaged 16 as a rookie in the games he played.
yeah, I don't know. It felt weird. And then even for OKC side, like, yeah, they had to consolidate picks, so like moving those picks, whatever, who cares? But like,
I
I
think
don't
Sam
see
Presti's
where.
one of those people that he just gets offered a good deal and he can't pass it up. He has an addiction. He can't do
Fair enough. I mean,
if it's a
yeah,
good
like
value.
it's a solid swing for them, but like, I don't know. Like, Josie, you tell me, is AJ Mitchell not everything Jared McCain is and better? Like,
Well, Jared McCain is a better shooter. Let's
okay,
get that
yeah.
straight.
Isaiah
There's
Joe
actually
replacement?
Yeah, there you go. There's actually no guys on the team except for Isaiah Joe that even shoot like Jared McCain at all, the volume he does. He's only 22 years old, guys. Like this is kind of crazy that
I don't know
Sam
how.
Presti just went and got a guy who's in his second year, who's in Rookie of the
Like
Year talks last year.
Mhm.
Like it's
I'm not the biggest fan of him either, but like it's exactly that. Like, you can't pass up he's 22 and he had like a really good rookie season.
And people have said he's been really bad this year, but he's still shooting at a nice rate. He's still a positive in terms of the plus minus when he's on the floor for the 76ers. So I feel like that, I mean, he's going to be a great 13th man. They basically waived Usman Jang to the Hornets or whatever happened with
Yeah,
that.
somehow he ended up on the Hornets. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a great culture fit, and the picks they gave away are basically they have multiple better picks in the draft already. So I think it's actually a slam dunk. Like, is he the best 13th man in NBA history?
Gotta be, right? I mean, yeah, probably. Yeah, so I mean, good value deal for the Thunder. We'll see how many minutes he plays. I mean, he'll definitely get some minutes in the immediate term with SGA out, but I wonder whether or not he'll be a big playoff piece
Yeah,
for
like
them.
half the team is out right now. It's
Yeah,
J-Dub, AJ, and Shea. It's all the creators, so they could use him immediately.
fair
Maybe
enough.
Tyler the Creator.
Maybe they could use him. But yeah, Usman Jang somehow ended up on the Hornets because then he was then shipped out to the Bulls along with Colin Sexton in exchange for Kobe White and the aforementioned Mike Conley. 3 second round picks also headed to the Bulls in this deal. So not a bad deal here. Like I feel like Kobe White is not having the greatest season, especially after having a most improved player campaign last year. So I guess he's a slight upgrade over Colin Sexton. But at the end of the day, this kind of just feels like a trade to make a trade. Like they're using some second round picks to potentially make an upgrade from Sexton to White. How did you guys like? How much better do you guys feel like Kobe White is than Colin Sexton? I don't really feel like there's a huge gap.
Yeah, I
There's
don't know.
not.
I was kind of confused because it just they could do nothing here and just be basically the same.
Yeah.
So did feel a little weird from that perspective.
Like I guess higher ceiling, but also I feel like the trade-off of like just making a trade and then like moving people out and like having to figure out the new fit with this new guy almost like eliminates like the talent gap that you're acquiring here. Like I don't know how much better this actually makes them for this season and beyond.
I don't, is Sexton on expiring? Was it
Yeah.
expiring for?
Yeah.
So
So
And
that's
so is
kind of
Kobe
weird.
White.
Yeah, so they're both going to be gone. So
I just felt
basically,
like Kobe White can score more points, but Colin Sexton I thought was a better fit and kind of the one scrappy little guy that they had on the team where
Yeah.
not an enforcer, but they needed his presence, I feel like, more than they needed the extra 4 points a game.
Yeah, they're not like dying for scoring punch in the backcourt right now. They already have a bunch of guards, so like making them one for one spot. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it at the end of the day. Like, cool. Like, I like Kobe White, so I don't mind him being in Buzz City. But I like Colin Sexton too. So I don't know. I mean, again, like the Bulls have a million guards, so like I don't know what Colin Sexton does for them. We'll see what other moves they might be making here. But shout out to the Bulls, I will say, for just being active. Like they're finally like making some moves. Like they notoriously don't really make a ton of moves at the deadline. So it was good to see them getting busy. But now they're just left with like a whole bunch of guards, and I don't really know what the direction is. So we'll
The
see.
Bulls got rid of guards and then acquired more guards.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, all roads for the Bulls lead to 39 wins. So they were bound for the same end result regardless. But I guess
Oh,
it's
we
a trade
traded
up.
Vucevic, but we have 17 guards.
Yeah, they did acquire some draft capital though. So at least they're
yeah,
doing
that's
something.
rare for them. Like
Yeah,
they
that
never do that.
right. At least they're doing something.
Someone
So yeah.
check on AK.
Speaking of doing
Where's
something, one of
AK?
the trades of all time took place shortly after. A three-teamer between the Clippers, the Nets, and the Raptors. Essentially, the Raptors just getting under the luxury tax here by shipping out Ochai Agbaji. They're getting Chris Paul back. He's not, probably won't even step into the country of Canada. But swapping those out, and then the Nets get like some cash and like a second round pick to maneuver the deal here. Um, I mean, cool. I don't think we need to spend too much time on this. I'm interested to see like it's good to see Chris Paul in headlines again. CP3 lives, as Josie said
Yeah.
earlier. So we'll see. I think maybe this makes me think like it's more likely that Chris Paul ends up on some sort of contender somewhere. I think probably the Rockets would be my guess, although I don't know that I'm calling them a contender anymore with the Steven Adams injury. But that's a separate point. I do think Chris Paul has a shot to still play some NBA games, which is cool.
Well, according to Shams, he might have played his last game. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know, but Clippers clear
Big
up a roster
trade.
spot.
The Raptors will do anything but get a center.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens on deadline day, but um,
As soon
yeah,
as we
I'm
stop
excited to
recording this,
see Chris
Jakob Poeltl is
Paul.
being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for LeBron James.
Oh, jeez. But we had another salary dump move to talk about quickly. The Cavs got off of Lonzo Ball and a couple second round picks to the Jazz. Now I predicted he was headed to the Wizards. I was wrong,
I
but they
thought,
did get salary
well,
dumped.
I thought him and Charlotte would have been fun because then you'd have both
Yeah,
Ball brothers. Then I thought white balls would be a lot of fun.
white
It
balls
still
would be
can be. Like he
still could
got
be.
waived,
Yeah,
so
White balls could be fun.
the white balls could still be in the cards, but yeah, the Cavs just continuing to shed salary. I think they still need one more move
Like
to get
imagine if the
under
Hornets
the.
got to play with white balls.
That
white
would
balls
be
and cock.
and yeah, white balls and Cockbrenner.
Oh, Cochran,
Um,
Jesus.
I still think the
Cock and
Cavs need
white
to make
balls.
another move to get under the second apron here. So we'll see what else they got in the cards. But yeah, just shedding some more money, similar to the DeAndre Hunter deal for the Cavs there. Then we had the Hawks acquiring Jock Landale from the Jazz for cash considerations. So Jock Landale getting active in the real estate market. He's headed to Atlanta. I mean, I guess nice depth there, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about Jock Landale. Next up, what else do we have? I think that might catch us up actually, unless I'm missing something. I think
It
that'll do
feels
it.
like it was more than that, but it's been so chaotic with like some of these are so unexpected, so
Yeah.
maybe they just feel bigger than they are, but
Yeah, so that catches us all up. This it'll be what like noon on Thursday by the time this goes up, so only a couple
Live
hours till
look
the
at Leon
deadline.
Rose.
Live look at Pat Riley in a coma. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. If anything crazy goes down in the final few hours before the deadline, we'll be sure to record again on Thursday
Wait,
night
hold
and
on.
talk about all of that. What are you giggling about?
Did you guys see the fucking Bill Simmons video with James Harden trade
Oh
explain with
yeah, where you had
yes.
the music
the
on like
music
12.
way too loud? Just turning over his voice.
Bro, I gotta say, he has been better since Russillo left.
Dude, he's been hilarious, and he also just keeps doing like these just random like dad Facebook videos. Where he just took a
Yeah.
video of himself walking today, talking about
Oh,
why he was
he's
upset
always
about.
doing the walking videos. Yeah, he's
No, I
always
know, but I
walking.
feel like he's done more and more. Like I feel like he's up the frequency of just like the
He goes, yeah,
unhinged.
he seems to go in phases of those like walking videos that he does.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the Rosillo thing, like I miss Rosillo in a sense because I used to love their Sunday pods. Like when they
Yeah.
were like shifted to the NBA to do their Sunday pods, it was great. But yeah, it was clear like the last year or so that he was there, like just wasn't the same energy, wasn't the same. He was kind of fitting better in with the Barstool guys anyway, so we could relegate him over there, whatever. So yeah,
he
R.I.P.
came
Rosillo,
he
but
became too much into the like the I feel like the Twitter clicks and Instagram clicky type of
his
content.
tweets are funny as fuck though
No,
because
they
they're
are.
all
I'm
like
not. I
hyper.
don't
They're
like
all
hate him
like
or anything. I just feel like he bought. I don't. I
yeah.
wish. I hate anyone that really goes. No, I don't hate them, but I dislike the decision to go to like once you go to like the Barstool route, you kind of just
Yeah, you
you're
just
stuck
become
there.
yeah, exactly. But I did love his like hyper ironic tweets if like you were in on it. Like it was always very funny. Like he would tweet like the super obvious, but like in a very ironic way that was always funny. So shout out to Rosillo. I mean, I still got respect for him. But I think
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, I think when this is my fear for Nate is that he's just like a 45-year-old single guy that just like only watches basketball and that's it.
Come
I'm
on,
just fucking
Nate.
with you, Nate. I love you, Nate.
Just catching
But-
random strays. Nice. Thank you.
Just but hey, or at least Rosillo's like jacked, so that could be in the cards for you too.
I need to get back to the gym, so I'm not even jacked right now. Fucking average.
But yeah, I think that catches us up. If anything crazy goes down right before the deadline, we'll record again Thursday night. But I think that wraps us up here, fellas. Anything else you guys want to get off your chest? Any predictions for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Giannis doesn't get traded. That's
Yeah. No.
my
Yeah. Well, Giannis isn't gonna get traded. Um. I think we see the Cavs maybe make another big
Hmm.
move. Not big, maybe not even big, but another significant move is made by Cleveland, is what I think happens.
could
Yeah.
see them punting Max Strus to the moon. Just
Oh,
continue to shed
that would be
salary.
illegal. You can't send people to space without their consent.
Yeah, well,
Well,
we can find a way.
Anyways,
But yeah, I guess that'll wrap us here. Thanks to everyone for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the pod. Make sure you tell your friends about us, even if they don't like basketball. Just tell them. Just tell them. Who cares? Just tell them.
tell your grandma, tell your sister, tell your uncle, tell your
Hmm.
uncle's uncle, tell your second cousin, tell your third cousin, tell your
Yes,
fourth cousin. I don't even know if
exactly.
you know your fifth cousin or your fourth cousin or your third cousin for that
I
matter.
don't know how
Tell
any
all
of
of
that
them.
works. I don't know how all that works, the second and third cousins, etc. But tell
Uh-oh.
everybody. Tell everybody is the consensus here. And then just make sure you check us out on all socials as well at 2 for 1 Hoops. And we'll be back with it, whether it's tomorrow or sometime this weekend. We'll be back with another episode soon. But
Or
until then,
now.
hope everyone has a great rest of their day.